on 19 Keys, and this is high level conversation.
The question of, well, you say the absence of a breathing apparatus on these grays is indicative that the narrative is bogus. Well, what if they technologically achieve that state in as terraforming? I want to address that. But I will start like this in terms of what you just, or that you just put on the table, which is great. In my book, Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity, I have an image that appeared in Ebony magazine, I believe. It was 1967. The date could be wrong. I need to fact check it in my book. But it's a very graphic depiction from Ebony magazine depicting a process that Black boys were being forced to submit to during the U.S. government's violence prevention initiative. An initiative born from the riots or the uprisings and this government's determination to control Black men in the source of our rage. The graphic from Ebony depicts a Black boy undergoing a violent lobotomy. Now, the initial phase of lobotomy, where the white scientists, and this is the depiction, would stick a scalpel or ice pick, do damage to the brain to kill certain centers of the brain, numb certain centers of the brain. And the purpose of this lobotomy program targeting inner city Black males is to damage areas of the brain presumed to be the seat of their language, Black masculine hostility. Black masculine hostility. The hostility that erupted in the riots of the 60s, at the root of which were Black men. The problem of the Black men was their masculinity. It was hostile. So correct the problem by going at the root of the Black masculine hostility, which they identified as certain parts of the brain. So they started doing lobotomies on Black boys, sticking, at that time, physical ice picks in the brain to damage certain nodes. Okay. We documented that the government's program to target Black masculine hostility, Black masculinity, evolved from physical lobotomy to chemical lobotomy. See, it's all about numbing the divine mind of the Black man. All the focus is on assaulting the mind of the Black man. It's the source of, talked about that all-powerful power hormone, testosterone. The process of producing testosterone in the male body does not begin in the testicles. Begins in the brain. So all of the assault and that weaponized weed and the pot plot, that artificial THC, it targets the very area of the brain which sets off the process that leads to the production of that power hormone, testosterone. So the assault is on the brain of the Black man. First physical lobotomy, then chemical lobotomy. Weaponized weed is a form of chemical lobotomy that targets Black men. Then we've identified sonic lobotomy. How the music the frequencies of the music have been weaponized to sonically lobotomize the listener, but in particular black men, because of course it's a music that targets our population, and in particular like trap music, which I'm a fan of, but it is what it is. With the 808s, that's there, that opens the door to their sonic lobotomizing of black men. So black men in America, our mind has been so under assault. We are lobotomized. That's why we walk around so zombie-like. It is not incidental, it's deliberate. We are a lobotomized male population, the bull. Now be clear, the black god men, M-I-N, ancient Egypt, his signature representation is him standing erect, and his phallus is erect. It's called the ichthyphallic, erect phallic pose of the god. But the phallus, the ichthyphallic pose, while on the surface level, it represented his procreative powers. But that was metaphor for his creative power. The ichthyphallic God was the creator God. Because, of course, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that gestation in the womb of a woman, the development, the evolution of a fetus in the womb of a woman recapitulates God's self-creation in the womb of space and the creation of the universe. So procreation, embryology, is a sign of cosmogony, the creation of the cosmos, or the ichthyphallic form of God. God, as represented as the creator of the heavens and earth, he's depicted ichthyphallic with erect penis and depicted black. In his zoomorphic form, or so-called animal attribute, because the ancients used creation to signify aspects of the creator. And the black bull was the paramount animal attribute of the creator God. Now, by black bull, we're talking about the bull that no longer exists in reality. The oryx bull, not any bull that's found on any farm or in any forest. The oryx bull was one of the mega beasts of the old world. It was the god of the earthly animals at that time. It was a huge animal, a mega beast, and had a beautiful black hide, and that black hide symbolized the black skin of the black god. And it alluded to the material creation, that tohu wabohu, the blackness of the bull, spoke to the noon of Egypt, the Apsu of Sumerian cosmology, that black matter that the creator God used to produce his black body. Now, let me say this, if I may. Going back to this extraterrestrial, the bogusness of the extraterrestrial hypothesis. Sure, we know the West would like to terraform Mars. They just put out, they're soliciting volunteers to undergo some training and experiment, because they hope to plant humans on Mars. They got to terraform Mars because they can't go to Mars today.
Right.
See, the whole point of the need to terraform Mars in order to make it acceptable as a human colony makes the point. No one has presented any evidence of any grade of Earth's atmosphere being terraformed. Now, yet the hypothetical, but we're not talking hypotheticals. I'm speaking about alleged accounts of encounters today in this current form of terror, form of Earth, with our current atmosphere that is your and my atmosphere. We still breathing this out.
Mm-hmm.
We are still dependent on the terraform of Earth right now. So we know this planet has not been terraformed to accommodate extraterrestrials. But yet, the not hypothetical account, but alleged real accounts of extraterrestrials comfortably existing in Earth's atmosphere like you and I are. And even so ridiculous as to say the Roswell Gray, oh yeah, he favors strawberry ice cream. See, they trolling. They are trolling
Yeah.
the ufologists. You see, let me see how stupid you really are. I'm going to put it out there and see how many of y'all bite. So while theoretically Earth can be terraformed to accommodate other life, but we know Earth has not been terraformed to accommodate extraterrestrial life any more than Mars has yet been terraformed to accommodate Earth life. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, see, the supremacy of the technology of these craft that are flying in Earth's atmosphere is born from a civilization that is higher than the civilizations of the other planets. They cannot produce this. We produce this. The Martians don't have the technology to produce this. They aren't traveling here. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the mothership is so technologically supreme, it can go anywhere in the universe. It can hide behind stars. It can go to any planet. It can stay on Mars if it wanted to. Why? Oh, for a time. Because the mothership can produce its own atmosphere. So the very Earth-based black gods that reside on and pilot these ships, they can go to Mars, but they won't breathe. They won't attempt to breathe Mars atmosphere. They'll stay in the ship with its earthly atmosphere that they are able to create on that ship. So wherever they go in the universe, they have to bring Earth's atmosphere with them. And I promise you, you won't see a black pilot exit a baby plane on Mars and he doesn't have a full contraption on head to toe. Because outside that ship, he can't breathe Mars's air. He breathes Earth's air in the baby plane or on the mothership. But if he exits that craft, he will have to have a contraption on, which is why, as I show in my book, the case of the swimmers, of the pilots of the ship and the pilots were encountered in the deep sea in Russia. The giant pilots were seen outside of the craft. They had on the metallic suit because the metallic suit is likely transmitting. But what they also had was a breathing apparatus on their head. So these pilots don't see or presume to breathe the water of the deep sea. They don't presume to breathe in the vacuum of space. So when you encounter them in those environments, you see them in the same gray suit, but you see them with a breathing apparatus on their head. But when we encounter them on Earth, they don't have, I'm talking about the black pilot. They don't have a breathing apparatus on because they are human based.
So what about the intraterrestrial to where, let's say, Middle Earth? Well, first I want to start.
That's closer to the truth. Crypto-terrestrials are closer to the truth than
You
extraterrestrials.
say crypto-terrestrials.
Crypto-terrestrials, hidden terrestrials, a civilization of terrestrial beings that are hidden from larger society, and they tend to be discussed in the context of Middle Earth, the hollow earth.
Then it could be, I guess, possible that the atmosphere is the
But I'm just interested to see, how you are currently using artificial intelligence.
So for me, education is the most important, because when I look across the spectrum of how all people build their wealth, it's based on what they know.
So now we're going to a point where the singularity for human beings is when we created AI.
I always believe we should be updated on the technology and to be able to utilize it to be the most effective, right? There's something being built all the time.
Now we are in the prompt engineering phase.
They created this program called Midjourney.
Everybody knows about ChatGPT. Claude.ai. People got to really focus on what's your talents now, right? That work hard, build a skill so that you can have a certain level of leverage in the marketplace is no longer the route.
Every single day when we spend time on things that does not give us an investment back, a return on our knowledge, a return on our time and our power, we're giving up the most valuable thing we have for what? This is something that everybody here needs to be putting 10,000 hours in. My formula for AI is AI plus NI equals EI, and that's natural intelligence plus artificial intelligence equals enhanced intelligence. But it works better if you're already smart.
The thing about being a futurist now is you used to predict the future. Now, you just report on the present because the future is here.
19 keys, and this is high level conversation.